Thank you for choosing to participate today. My name is Matt Rosu. I'm an economist at Susquehanna University, and I'm here to explain how this auction that you're taking part in today works, this online auction. It's fairly simple. If you've participated in auctions before, this should be fairly straightforward for you. There's just a couple wrinkles that are a little bit different. But what we will have you doing in the next few minutes is you're actually going to be bidding on 4 different products. So here it says 9 steps. The first 8 are pretty straightforward. You'll examine a product. There'll be pictures on the screen and a short description. You'll put down your bid for the product, right? You'll type in whatever bid you'd like to place for the particular product. Then you look at product number 2 and you place the bid for product number 2. You'll then examine a 3rd product and finally a 4th product. While you're bidding on 4 products, it's important to note that we'll only be choosing one of these 4 products to actually count as the product that we will hold up for auction. The reason we do this is we don't want you to have to worry about obtaining more than one item. So if you are to win, just a little on the mechanics, instead of the full payment, you'd receive a partial amount of the payment, but then the product would also be sent to you as well. So you'll either, for your participation, you'll either get the full amount of the full $10 incentive, or slightly less than the $10 incentive should you win in the auction, but then you'd also receive the product. Now, the cautionary note, or the note on this is that I'd like to mention, of course, you're free to bid whatever you want on this particular auction. The reason that we are paying you on this to take part in this is we're hoping that you will take this seriously and bid on this. But if it's a product that you really don't like, we would actually want you to bid 0 for it, because that tells us the information that we want, that you don't like this product. If it is something that you'd like, we'd ask that you would bid on it as if you would bid for another product. So after we determine the product, a limit price will be shown. A limit price will have been selected, and those are kind of matched up depending when you're participating. There's different limit prices for different individuals. So a limit price will be selected. If your bid for the product is higher than the limit price, you will have won the auction. So if you bid, if it's for an item that you think's worth $2 or $3 or $4, and the limit price chosen is 20 cents. Well, any bid 2, 3, 4, 8, 10, whatever, and any bid like that is more than 20 cents, so you would purchase the product. But the thing to note is you don't pay the price you wrote down. You pay whatever's chosen as the limit price. So if you bid $2, $3, $4, $8, $10, whatever, and a price of 20 cents is drawn, you'd pay 20 cents. So the way this would work, instead of receiving $10, you'd receive $9.80 plus the product. We would get the product to you as well. If your bid is less than the limit price that's shown, you wouldn't purchase the product. So let's say you bid, once again, I said $2, $3, or $4, or somewhere in that range, and the limit price that is $11. Well, you bid less than the limit price, so you simply just don't buy the product, right? You didn't win the item in the auction. At the end of this, you just receive your $10 incentive fee. So why do we do this type of auction? Well, it's a type we can do with just you versus nobody else. So whether or not you win the auction depends solely on your bid versus the selected limit price. You're not bidding against anybody else in this particular auction. So we can do it a setup where it's just versus you. So one is the feasibility, but there's also an important reason for us as researchers on this is you do have a strategy to think of what's the most I'd be happy to pay for the product I'm seeing and bid that amount. Now, most auctions, it's in your best interest to think, I think this product's worth a certain amount, and then you bid less because you're trying to get a good deal. This particular auction, your best strategy to make yourself as well off as possible is to think, what's the most that I'd be comfortable paying for the product, and bid that amount. Remember, whatever you bid, you'll never pay more than that amount. But depending on the price that's drawn, you very well could pay less. And in fact, a vast majority of the time, people who would win the auction are going to pay less because there's a price that's drawn between a dime and $12, and most of the time this is those prices are pre-drawn. Most of the time it's not. Now there's a chance you could pay exactly the amount. If you put down like $4 or something and the price is exactly $4, well then you pay that amount. But if you put down 4 or 6 or 8 or 2 and the price is 50 cents, you'd pay 50 cents. Bidding too little, the only thing that could happen is you could miss out on buying a product at what you think is a really good price. The flip side, though, I do want to say you shouldn't bid more than you'd be comfortable paying, because there is a chance, of course, if you think a product's worth a few dollars, or $1, $3, $5, $7, or whatever, and you think, well, I'm going to bid $10. Well, there's a chance we could draw a price that's not $10, but it's higher than what you think the product's worth, and you end up getting the product for a price you just don't think is a good deal. So that's the reason we do this type of auction, in addition to the feasibility. But they mentioned I'm an economist. There's good economic reasoning behind this particular auction. There's no better strategy for you than to think, what's the most I'd be comfortable paying, and bid that amount. And one other note, you're bidding on 4 products, but you don't know which of the 4 will be chosen. As we mentioned, at most you could win 1 item. It is your best interest then to take each round of bidding seriously, as any of these 4 rounds could indeed be the product that's chosen. And once again, across the different participants, all 4 are, it's approximately equal, the probability of any of those 4 being chosen. It's all kind of luck of the draw for the participants in this study. So thank you, and we'll move on to a practice quiz to evaluate, a quick evaluation of your understanding of how the auction works.